This is my review of Bleach Chapter 76. So Jidanbo's laying there next to Ichigo. He's bleeding to death because he's still missing his arm, and everyone's worried about Ichigo. No one bothers to ask Jidanbo how he is. And Ichigo jumps up and he's hurt, and he says, "Oh, I could have been killed," but he's otherwise in high spirits, just hurting a bit. And Uryu is amazed by the strength of Zangetsu, that it was able to block Ian's sword rather than it just piercing right through it. And we get what might be the best panel of Zangetsu is it's stuck in the ground and it's just coming up and you can really get a good look at it. Ichigo apologizes that the gate was closed again and no one's worried about Jidanbo apparently missing his fucking arm. And then the Konpaku arrive. It's a bunch of people that are standing around from the village on the Rukongai and the poor area staring at them. And Yoruichi reveals that they were scared because Ichigo and his friends are Ryoka. Ryoka are people who enter the Soul Society illegally. And often they are the cause of issues, and so the people were scared that there would be criminals or something. And then Yuichi pushes through the crowd and he greets Chad. It's pretty cool to see Yuichi come back because he's got one of the best stories Kubo wrote for a character. We get the chapter cover. It's Cardine and Yuzu playing with some toys. A bunch of Konpaku are rolling Jidanbo's arm and pushing it up to his body, and then Orihime begins healing it, trying to reattach it. That's, I thought, a pretty clever way to do it. You'd have to hold that in place for hours. It'd be no different than trying to glue something back together where you just gotta hold it until the shit starts really connecting and it can hold itself. There's a weird panel where Orihime's summoning Shun Rika and her eyes are closed. She's just standing like that, and I don't know why her eyes were closed, and Shun Rika is like spinning around above her head. Very strange panel. There's a random guy that explains that most of the Shinigami are assholes, but they like Jidanbo because he's originally from the Rukongai and he's nice. The Konpaku are happy that Ichigo was able to defend Jidanbo from Gain, so he's cool with them. We cut back to Yuichi and Chad, and they talk some. A boy comes by, and he says that he's Yuichi's brother. But he's not biologically his brother. He explains that when they die, they're sent randomly into the Rukongai, so it's not likely that they'll find their biological parents, and instead, especially with kids, people just have to kind of group up together and form their own families to try to survive. The boy who's Yuichi's brother reveals that he died in 1947, so he's been there for a long time. And they don't change from the moment they reach the Soul Society. And then Chad asks Yuichi if he hasn't found his mother yet, and Yuichi says he hasn't, but Chad tells him to hold out hope that he will. And then we see the moon is out. Jidanbo's arm is almost healed. It's like the outer portion at least is. And Orihime is thinking about Ichigo as she cheers on Shun Rika, and then Ichigo shows up and gives her a drink, and she's surprised to see him there. Jesus. Fucking big chapter. Ichigo wants her to rest because she's been healing Jidanbo, presumably all day from the sun being out tonight because the moon's up high in the sky. And she says that she's almost done. Ichigo asks her what almost is, and she says that she still needs 5 hours to finish healing him. And then the Konpaku come by and tell her that they'll finish up and that she can go rest, which I don't know what that means because they can't actually heal him. So I don't know how they're going to help, But she agrees to go rest, so I guess Jidanbo's arm is just fucked up for the rest of his life, because it's certainly not going to heal right if she still needed 5 hours to continue reattaching the fucking thing. As she comes in, Uryu says she must be tired, and then they are greeted by Yoruichi. Yoruichi begins explaining that the White Road Gate will be heavily guarded since they just attacked it, so they can no longer use that. Chad wonders if they can use a different one, but then Yoruichi reveals it would take a fortnight to reach another gate, and so they'll need to do something else, but he has another course of action in mind, and he asks this elder of the village or whatever if he knows Kukaku Shiba, whom was on the volume cover, and I accidentally said Guyan because I was thinking of Cayenne. Guyan is his fucking character from the Monogatari series, and I just fucked that up. But indeed, the volume cover person was Kukaku Shiba. The elder reveals that he may know where Kukaku Shiba is, but they of course move around a lot. And then someone smashes through the door. Boar arrives at the door. The man who landed calls the boar Bonnie. The elder addresses the man as Ganju, and then Ganju sees Ichigo and he wonders why there's a Shinigami there. And then the little corner thing is the last thing. Chad sees of Yuichi, and he asks Chad if he'll play with him again. Kubo didn't do as much with Yuichi as he could have here, but the anime capitalized on that, so it's fine. Long chapter, a lot going on. We get no resolution with fucking Jidanbo ever, I don't think he ever comes back. So he might as well have just been killed by Gin, honestly. Fuck, dude. I mean, what are the fucking Konpaku gonna do for him? Fucking telling her that they've got it. They don't have nothing. They can't heal him. Or are they gonna try to hold his arm in place for 5 hours? Like, no. What? I don't know what their idea was there, but they said they got it. So I guess Jidanbo's arm is just fucked up for the rest of his life. It'll be there. It'll just be there hanging, and he won't be able to fucking use it. I don't know. Goofy scene. But yeah, a lot went on in this chapter. Big chapter. For not having any fighting in it. And that's the end of that.